Today, I'll be explaining about your camera's different focus modes. Hi there, welcome back to my channel. My name is Brendan Diver, and if this is your first time here, I'll be giving you tips and advice on photography every Saturday. Now, if there's a video that you would like to see, please leave a message below in the comments and I'll try and get that video created for you. Now, I wonder if I could ask you a big favour of you all. Can you give this video a like and subscribe to my channel, and if you can click on the bell notification icon, you won't miss any videos in the future. Feel free to share it with your family and friends or anybody that's interested in learning about photography. Now, today I'm going to explain and show you the basics of what the different focus modes are in your camera and when to use them. But first, I'm going to give you a free bonus tip on how to get better images when hand holding your camera. So, the bonus tip I have for you today is to know how to get the correct stance when taking pictures. Now, I always tell people to have a look at the way that a boxer would stand when they're going into the ring or in the middle of a boxing tournament. They'll stand upright, they'll have their feet shoulder width apart, you'll have your leading foot forward, you'll bring your two hands up and you'll keep your elbows in close, tight to your body. And same for a photographer, keep your elbows in close. You don't want none of this arms flying all over the place, because that'll actually make you unsteady. Keep them in close, you'll bring your hand underneath the camera lens, you'll grip the other side firmly with your camera body, and this will give you a really steady, firm pose for getting really sharp, steady images. So, all manufacturers have these different focus modes, but they may be called something slightly different from one manufacturer to another. Personally, I use Canon, so the terms I'm using may be slightly different on your brand of camera. Modern day cameras do a really good job of focusing, and some even have eye detection, whereby the camera will lock into your subject's eye to get it sharp every single time. The three modes are continuous focus, single focus, and manual focus. So let's start with the continuous focus mode. So, where do you use continuous focus and what does it mean? Well, continuous is as long as you hold down your finger halfway down on the shutter button, the focus is going to continually keep tracking your subject. Examples of where it's a continuous mode would be tracking somebody playing a sport, for example, running after a ball, riding a horse, a motorcycle, or fast moving car. Or if you're photographing aircraft flying above you. Photographing your children playing with your pet family dog in the garden, running about would be another example. And as long as you keep your finger pressed down halfway in the shutter button, the focus will be locked onto your moving subject. Now, when you're ready to take your image, then you can fully depress the shutter button, and I use this feature all the time when photographing sports events or families with children running all over the place there. It works out really well, and if you ever try to use the other modes, you'll find that it would be impossible to get a good image, because by the time you focus on the subject and you're ready to take the image, they will have moved on again. So where do you use single focus? Single focus means you lock your focus in, and as long as your finger is held halfway down on the shutter button, the focus isn't going to move. The focus is not going to change until I take my finger off and relock my focus again. So this is good for static subjects such as portraits, family groups, or objects. Now, if I wanted to put my subject into a different composition, I could lock my focus and recompose again. But a word of warning, if your subject moves forward or back, closer or nearer to the camera, especially with a wider aperture, this will cause their plane to change. And as a result, you might need to refocus, because if you're locking on something and it moves, the focus isn't going to shift, so you may get an out of focus picture. Now, this brings me on to the third option, manual focus. Manual focus allows you to manually override the focus modes so you can manually focus your lens. Now, as I've got older, I have trouble manually focusing because I started wearing glasses for reading and close-up work, and my eyes just aren't as sharp as they used to be, with the result that I don't trust my own eyes a lot of the time for manual focus. But where I do use this feature is if I'm photographing, for example, macro photography, where the subject is very close to the camera. My camera may have difficulty in focusing, so if this does happen, I use manual focus instead. Now, another example where it would be if I was photographing, say, for example, the Northern Lights here in County Donegal, or low lights landscape photography. My camera's autofocus might have problems focusing in the dark because there's not much contrast in the scene, so it may not be able to take that image nice and sharp. So try out these different focus modes in your camera. Let me know in the comments below which one you enjoy using and which is your favourite. And if there's any videos that you'd like me to create in the future, let me know and I'll create that video again for you. Thanks very much for watching.